I have another question here. I screenshotted a few because we'd like to get back to you guys on things you guys are wondering. So we got a question here from PMK Lings, and it's when you guys take off on strike missions last minute, what does that process look like? Who is responsible for paying for and booking travel? Do sponsors pay for you and the filmer to travel? How does that work? Thanks in advance.
So there's a ton of ways that works, and it all depends on like your deal structure with your main sponsor.
Yep.
So some sponsors will give you just the base pay and no travel budget, or some sponsors give you base pay and a set amount you can travel with that you got to re-invoice them for. So it just really depends on your deal structure and if you're allowed to use it on people other than yourself.
Yeah.
So sometimes people's deals are structured to where they just get like a flat rate. The company doesn't pay for anything besides what the athlete, like their monthly pay, I guess.
Yeah.
But a lot of trips are out of pocket for most surfers, especially when you run out of a travel budget and there's like a crazy swell going somewhere. You're like, I'm not going to not go. Like, I'm going to spend my own money to get there if I have to, you know?
Yeah.
So I think in the beginning, at least for me, a lot of it was just like paycheck to paycheck for me because over the years, sponsors, it's like grown and grown, like our image, I guess, which becomes more marketable and that comes with more money. And I'm sure the same for you, but like I was still traveling so much with making way less money than I was now and like barely any travel budget. Like sometimes it'd be like, oh, we'll pay for one trip or this and that. So it just depends on seriously the surfer's deal structure. I think it's great that sponsors, I don't see why a sponsor wouldn't want to put the money into travel.
Yeah.
Especially for free surfers or contest surfers, just any surfers, because people love seeing you go places and surf new waves or leave your home and go do something cool. So it's like it's marketing that helps everyone, you know?
Yep. I totally agree. And similar with me too, as far as travel budgets and that. I've had, it seems like travel budgets were more prevalent a few years ago and they're not so much now. And that just could be part of what we do now, right? Is because when at first I was like, hey, please pay for my trip. Like, I'll dedicate the trip to you. I'll get you the content you need and this and that. And then it slowly became like, no, actually, like, I'm going on this trip and I want to own all the content I have. I don't want to have to give over all of this stuff at the end of the trip. I want to divvy it out how I would like to divvy it out. And so the brand deals turn to more salary based, which is also nice because just like you said, like when you have a set travel budget, sometimes from a brand, they're like, hey, can you invoice us that, right? So me or Koa would book the tickets of ourselves plus Zord or Jack, and then the company's like, invoice us and show us screenshots of those tickets. And then they're like, we got you covered, but we don't got Jack or Zord covered, you know? Because your name's on it. And they need to take that to the budgeting department and say, hey, this is the budget we have for them and so forth. And so that could get tricky. So at times it's just almost like, yeah, we can give you a travel budget. And you're like, we'll just put that into my salary. And I'll spend that money how I want to.
Yeah, I think that's the best deal structure. Like, okay, we're going to give you this amount of pay and then we're going to give you this amount for travel. I'd just be like, can you just put that into my monthly pay like throughout the year? So it's not like, because a lot of places like Tahiti, everything else we paid for besides the flights was all cash.
Yep.
And companies like, obviously, they have a hard time accepting just like
a handwritten note.
Take my word.
like
yeah, that boat was $1,000. I have no receipt. Anything.
You send them an ATM receipt because you hit the ATM 4 times and pull.
I've done
cash.
that.
It's like
I've wrote down what it's for, and sometimes they're cool, and it's just all comes
down to the company.
It's just business. I understand it. If they're like, no, but
that being said, like in the beginning, like Koa said, like brand deals, and for those of you, maybe you're a young kid or you have a kid coming up and you're trying to see how you can structure a deal, or there's a deal on the table, or someone's offering this or that. But in the beginning, like if a brand wasn't going to pay me, but they wanted to work with me, sometimes I'd be like, fine, don't pay me. Just give me 3 trips. 3 trips, and I'll give you some action from those trips. And this was early on when we weren't making much. And so that just helps you get on the road, right? And build your image and build your own brand. And you use that money, do those trips, give them what they want. But at the same time, you're building up your own image. So the next brand that saw you do that is like, hey, we'll pay for those trips and give you some cash if you come work with us.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's go.
That's some great advice from Nate for whoever's out there trying to make it as a surfer right now. Just take whatever deals you can at first to just be able to
Get on the road and build yourself up.
Yeah. That's good advice.
I see this common thread of like, oh, I don't want so many stickers on my board, and that's like a sellout trait. And I'm like, bro, what? Do you want to get paid to do what you love or not?
Yeah. The sellout thing's funny.
We've laughed so much about this.
Yeah. No, I've laughed so much at your surfboards. Because sometimes the company will send me a sticker. I'll be like, okay, that's kind of big. Like, do you have any smaller ones to fit my surfboard? I'm not like worried about putting stickers on my board ever. But Nate, if you've seen one of Nate's boards, they literally look like a NASCAR of surfboard. He's
goal.
like, I need the biggest stickers I can get.
I love stickers. You guys got stickers sent them to me.
He'll rep your sticker for free.
I'll pay you.
$1. Venmo Nate $1. He'll rep your sticker.
I love stickers.
It is funny. You do have the most stickered surfboard in surfing, I think.
And it comes back to that. Like, to me, it's like when I lock in with a brand, like, I'm fired up and I want to represent them. I want to back them. I want them to back me. I want everyone to be hyped. I want the relationship to be good and smooth. And it just comes from that when we were younger. Like, dude, I don't care what you're like. Just give me some cash and let me go on the road and do my thing.
Yeah.